So we might be looking at a legitimate Midjourney killer, and it shocks me to say that it's Dall-E. There's been a pretty major update to Dall-E. Not everyone has access to it yet. They're rolling it out slowly, starting with early adopters. But we do have some images and prompts from the new model, so we're going to take those and go head-to-head against Midjourney v4 and see what the results are. And then ultimately we'll round out with why I think that Dall-E is going to end up king of the hill in terms of AI art generation. Okay, so here's a few images from Emma Catnip on Twitter using the new Dall-E model. These look to me to be very Midjourney-esque. This is magnitudes better than the last model of Dall-E. Let's zoom in here a little bit and see. I mean, skin texture looks really, really, really good. That depth of field looks really solid. Textures on the clothes are really amazing. And the imagination is actually on par with Midjourney, in my opinion. I've got a bunch of head-to-head comparisons in this, but for an opening one, I decided to take this image and bring it over to Clip Interrogator 2, which allows you to take an image, feed it in, and get a prompt out of it. You're never going to get an exact clone of the image, but it definitely gets you in the ballpark. So I ran the image through Clip Interrogator, and the output description was a woman that is standing in the snow, inspired by Adam Marcinski? Sorry, somebody that's better with Polish last names, please let me know how badly I butchered that. ZBrush Central Contest winner, elaborate ornate headpiece, Erwin Olaf wearing ice crystals, singularity sculpted, kind of a weird question mark diamond thing, and then Etsy. I went back to regular Dall-E that we all have access to and ran the prompt, and this was the output, which is actually surprisingly better than I would have thought that it would have done. Dall-E apparently has gotten a lot better. I haven't really been paying as much attention to Dall-E, having moved over more to Midjourney and Leonardo. The only time I was coming back to Dall-E was really for the in-painting and out-painting features. And once Midjourney got 16.9, as well as Leonardo's canvas feature, there really wasn't a need to go back to Dall-E very often. Plus, I was never a big fan of like the whole token system. I'd usually just burn through those at the first of the month, and then I would never come back. But overall, it was a pretty solid image. There is still, the problem with the eyes. The headpiece texture doesn't look as good. The skin kind of has that waxy-ish look compared to the new model, which has really fantastic textures in the headpiece. Skin texture and eyes are super on point. This is another image that was generated with Dall-E2 Experimental is what they're calling it. I'm thinking of it as Dall-E3, but photorealistic, obviously here. Let's kind of zoom in and check it out a little bit. I would say definitely equal to Midjourney standards with photorealistic, really nice soft bokeh background. Skin looks good. Character details look good. Let's check out the fingers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fingers. This one looks a little janky, but I'm not going to hold that against them. Fingers are always a thing with AI art. This one is really impressive. Photorealistic detail again. The eyes are really solid in this. Skin texture is on point. Yeah, what is going on here? Let's see. Punch in here a little bit. I don't know what's happening with that little jank right there, but for the most part, really, really, really good. I will say you buy a lot with that soft focus vignette thing. AI art loves to use that because I think, it's less detail, obviously, that it has to put in. But yeah, this is a really, really, really good image. Had you told me 2 weeks ago that this came out of Dall-E, I'm not saying I wouldn't have believed you, but I would have been a little sus about it. This one, while not super interesting as an image, was pretty interesting in that it showed off text. And the text looks, it's still, gibberish text, but it's starting to look legitimately like it came out of a newspaper from that era. This is something that I'm keeping an eye on since OpenAI is, Dall-E's parent, and they also have ChatGPT. I do sort of wonder if at some point they're not going to be the ones to crack the code on text and images. I do realize that they're two separate sort of threads, but I'm now sort of wondering if there is a company that's going to pull off that little magic feed if it's not OpenAI. Here's another comparison from Dall-E 1 to Dall-E 2. The prompt here was a tiny dragon excitedly holds a coin in an urban city street, Pixar character portrait, highly detailed cinematic render, environmental concept painting. Same prompt for new Dall-E is this image, which is much more vibrant in color, obviously. Again, we're getting that, bokeh effect. So, which I think I mean, this has depth of field, but this has a really, really narrow depth of field. But the colors are so much more vibrant in this one. Let me see real quick. Let's take a look. Yeah, there's not much happening in texture here. It's definitely, it looks kind of waxy, like clay-like. But our texture details on the new one look really, really good. So it's got these like, looks like little rips in his ear wings. What do they call those things? Ear wings? I'm going to call them ear wings. Whereas in the original model, we don't have anything of the sort. So that just goes to show the level of detail that the new model is capable of producing. A couple more shots from that same prompt. Yeah, it looks really great. Very imaginative in terms of character design. So well done, Dall-E. Overall, I am very impressed with how this new Dall-E model looks. Let's see how it stacks up against Midjourney V4. I don't yet have access to the new model of Dall-E, but luckily, a Twitter user by the name AdamGPT, at the real Adam G, was nice enough to tweet his images with the prompt. So we do have something that we can work with to sort of one-to-one. So thank you to Adam. This first image that caught my eye, the prompt was a photo of the Joker when he was 21. He is wearing a purple single-breasted slim fit Brooklyn jacket with a 3-button closure and lapel. The trousers are slim fitting with a flat front with a pleat. The prompt continues, the suit is made from a lightweight stretchy fabric, is paired with a white shirt and a striking tie, bright studio lighting, 8K. So just as an FYI, I did have to modify the prompt slightly. I got a banned word in the Midjourney bot, breasted, as in single-breasted suit. Yeah, Midjourney won't allow the word breasted. I do understand the need for the word filter. I just wish that it occasionally had some more nuance to it. Anyhow, this was the initial prompt. I kind of missed the Joker thing. I don't know why. I think I'm pretty sure that I've rolled Joker-esque things in Midjourney before. It did get the vibe of the Joker, and we did say 21, so maybe it's before, you want to know how I got these scars. But to be honest, in terms of the prompt and what I was looking for, I mean, Dall-E actually nailed that. So the next image is a pose that I think I've made at least 5 times in my life. The prompt is a tired businessman sits lonely at the airport bar nursing his beer while he awaits his red-eye flight home. Detailed photo, dim lighting, studio lighting, 8K bokeh effect. So let's take this image, pop it over to Midjourney, and see how it does there. Midjourney's output was pretty on point. I think this is really where you're going to see a lot of it. Is that Jon Stewart? That looks like it was initially based on Jon Stewart at some point in time. Oh, we got some wacky hands, not wacky hands, wacky wrist here. Also, this guy's getting loaded before his flight. He's got like a IPA and maybe like a Guinness or something like that. Maybe that's why he's got his hand like this. He's about to throw up. You should not fly that wasted, my friend. Some weird wrist action going on here, and a really elongated thumb there. Again, I don't want to necessarily bash on hands and arms. I know that's an overall AI problem. But, I think this illustrates exactly what Midjourney is so good at. The integration of the lighting in this Dall-E image, while really, really good, don't get me wrong, you've got that amber and blue light thing happening that so many movie posters love. But there is a certain amount of like, these are 2 separate layers. Whereas Midjourney's always been really pretty good at sort of blending that foreground and background via the lighting. Like if you look in this image, we have motivated lighting, sort of, creating a rim around his back, which matches to the amber lights back here, sort of the cold lights up here illuminating his front. That said, in this image, we do have a watermark alert. Yep, there we go. Gibberish, but it's there. Okay, let's try out another one here. The prompt here is a snowboarder going off a huge jump, making a cool hand gesture, 8K blue sky outdoor lighting fisheye lens. The helmet looks a little odd here, but I think, zoomed out, it buys. Definitely the texture of the mountain, sky, everything looks pretty on point though. Midjourney's output was super artistic. Really cool, actually. I really dig this a lot. 2 completely different styles, though. This very much looks like it could be on the cover of a snowboarding magazine, whereas this looks like it would be an insert photo in the story that appeared in the snowboarding magazine. Here's another image that I ran across from Dall-E Experimental. I'm not going to prompt shoot out this one because I don't have a prompt for it. I just wanted to show it off because I'm super impressed with how it looks. Yeah, this is a far cry from Dall-E 3 months ago. So ultimately, is Dall-E 3 going to be the Midjourney killer? There's a pretty good chance of that, and that's mostly because an 800-pound gorilla just entered the chat. Dall-E is OpenAI, and OpenAI is Microsoft, and Microsoft has made no bare bones that they are going full force on AI. This new version of Dall-E will definitely be appearing in Microsoft Designer. Actually, Microsoft Designer is already flaunting the fact that it is using Dall-E2 images, so it'll definitely be integrated there. And given how quickly Microsoft rolled ChatGPT out into the Bing search, I don't doubt that they will be equally as quick to pull the trigger on Dall-E2 into their image search. Do you know if you search image search in Bing, the first result that comes up is Google Images? Come on, Bing, get it together, man. So in Bing's visual search, I don't doubt that at some point very soon, we will probably see a text prompt somewhere in this area. Or if you can't find an image that you're looking for, Dall-E will make you that image. The point being that once you can get Midjourney level images outside of Discord on a website that, pretty much the entire world knows about and can access, at that point, you've got mass adoption and you more or less become the name for AI art. Whether that's a good or a bad thing that it's Microsoft is, I don't know. I guess that's your opinion. Please let me know in the comments. And then ultimately, there's also all the legal issues that are involved with AI generated images. But Microsoft is pretty good at litigation. They've even got an entire Wikipedia page about it. To be honest, copyright fights actually are pretty baked into Microsoft, considering that it more or less started with a copyright fight between Microsoft and Apple. And, had they lost that fight, we would not be looking at a desktop the way that we view it now. So that's what I got for you today. Thanks so much for watching this. Please check out one of my other videos while you're here. And I would love to keep chatting about this in the comments. So, please let me know how you feel about Dall-E 3, Midjourney, and Microsoft, slowly trying to take over the entire world of AI. Okay, cool. Until next time.